You want an apprenticeship? Listen in, I may have some ideas that'll help you get there. This time, Midlife Carpentry. G'day guys, Chris here, Midlife Carpentry. So today I wanted to talk about apprenticeships and how to get one. So I wanted to give you a few little ideas, a few little pointers that may assist you in gaining an apprenticeship. Now this is applicable to any trade, regardless. So whether you want to be a hairdresser, want to be a chef, chippy, electrician, plumber, whether you want to be an arborist or anything along those lines. Like, there's plenty of trades out there, guys. Look into it, and most of the times they will have apprenticeships as well. So this is to get an apprenticeship. So this isn't to be about trying to be qualified or anything. This is about actually getting yourself in a position to get signed up to help that happen. So hopefully it helps out. So let's start off with the meaning of an apprentice. What is an apprentice? So a person who is learning a trade from a skilled employer, having agreed to work for a fixed period at low wages. Which I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys kind of understand, is that when you become an apprentice, you do run on a lower rate of pay compared to a qualified tradesman and all that sort of stuff. Which is understandable. Your skill set isn't as high, your knowledge isn't there. So, the whole idea is that your employer is able to pair you up with a qualified person and to have you both doing work or doing a particular job. And he's not trying to pay for two guys that don't really have, not paying for two guys with one is minimal knowledge. So it makes things can make things a little bit slower at times as well, being an apprentice, having an apprentice around, Okay, so in saying that, an apprenticeship is a big commitment. So not only for yourself as an apprentice, but also as an employer. So an employer will commit to an apprentice, and likewise, you need to commit to the employer. So just keep that in mind, guys. Like, that's something that you will need to understand, that you need to see this through. You need to commit to it. So you need to know that this is what you want to do. You want to have a crack at it. You want to give it a go and get it done and get qualified and move on. So at the end of the day, once you get your trade under your belt, it's entirely up to you whether you want to continue with it or you want to try a different trade or whatever. But if you're going to commit to an apprenticeship, do your best, work your way through it, get it done, and get signed off, basically. That's kind of where you want to be. So, so just as much as an employer commits to you, you ideally should be, reciprocating that too. So bringing that back to them. Right, so let's talk about ways you can apply for an apprenticeship. Ways that will help you get a foot in the door, basically. I wanted to word. One of the first things I think is very important to do is to get a resume together. You need to have a resume. Have a cover letter or an email or something that you've put together that states basically what you've done, where you want to go, what you want to achieve, that sort of thing. So when I say a letter, what I wanted to do, I'd like to read you the little letter that I put together when I applied for positions as a carpentry apprentice, trying to get a carpentry apprenticeship. So the little letter that I've put together, just bear with me, I'll read it off the laptop here, and we'll see what you guys think. Whether you'll be able to get any tips or tricks out of it, I'm not sure, or anything, but hey, I think it covers some pretty good points, and like I said, it might help you out a little bit. So, hello, kept it very generic. Thanks for taking the time to have a read. I am a close to 40-year-old, reliable, honest, hardworking, passionate family man who understands safe working environments and has a hunger to learn. My wife and I have been in Cairns since the end of December 2014. For the past several years, we've built a great life here. We've been spoilt with a 4-year-old boy, and his brother arrived last month. Exciting times indeed. I'm looking for a new challenge and direction career-wise. Currently looking for opportunities to lead into an apprenticeship in carpentry. I'd volunteer my time where needed, be happy to make time after work or on weekends to clean up, sweep floors, etc. Whatever gives me experience in the industry and opens some doors. My intentions have been shared with my employer, and the opportunity to work 1 or 2 days a week in the building industry on a casual basis is up for negotiation. In saying this, I request the understanding that this transition process from my role to my replacement could possibly take a month. Okay? Honesty is important. I think it's very important to be open and honest with people, tell people the way it is, and you're not sugarcoating anything, so people understand. I understand there will be sacrifices, it will be hard, demanding work, but over time I feel that this will be worth it in the long term. I have a genuine interest in being able to stand back and look at something I've created. With that sort of satisfaction is limited in the sales role. Our townhouse home has gone through some changes over the past year. I've completed tasks such as demolition works, basic framing, door mounting, skirting, cabinet installation, plastering and painting. Every little part I completed and took appreciation of my achievement. Refining my existing skills and gaining new ones is a must. I feed off variety and problem solving. If you feel I could be a good fit for your company, let's get in touch and discuss some options. Looking forward to hearing from you. Cheers, Christopher Rappel. So guys, that was my little application letter. That's what I sent out along with my resume that was fairly well presented in one document. And I actually email spammed, for want of a word, I guess you could call it that, where I've sent off, so I did my research. So I jumped on Google and I had a look at the guys that put ads out for tradesmen. So people who are looking to employ tradespeople, all right? So from that position, you sort of know that, okay, there is potential for someone to employ an apprentice in this company. Some companies just sub out completely. So say, for example, in the building and construction industry, there are some building companies that just sub you out completely. So they wouldn't actually technically employ anyone. So they wouldn't employ an apprentice or anything. So sending your resume to them may sort of not be applicable. You probably got no chance there. So yeah, I reckon email. So I did some research. I found out the guys that did it. I had a look at some of the Seek ads and stuff that were happening. Seek's a good one, so online Seek. There's a few other places you can have a look for different stuff. Just jump on Google, have a look. There's lots of places you can apply, look into that sort of stuff. See where they're employing tradespeople. Got their details, found an email address, and then I was basically shooting through a little email and touching base with them. I probably would have gone to about 20 to 30 odd different companies. Some I got responses from in the first place. Now this whole process took some time, but we'll go into that later on. Training organizations. So there's two types of people that kind of involved. There's about 3 people sort of involved in training. So there's your admin and sign-on people. So I think we've got busy at work, I think, for our apprenticeships. And then you've got your training organizations, your registered training organizations. So that's things like your TAFE, your My Havens. We use Ballinger. Ballinger are the guys that are looking after us. So they look at training organizations. And then you've obviously got your employer. So training organizations, probably not so much. You might be able to suss out with them, seeing if there's any vacancies. Sometimes they do pop up and stuff on their websites. Have a chat to the different training organizations. Have a chat to your registered agencies as well. So your apprenticeship agencies, have a quick chat to them. Social media is a great way to pick up what's happening and who has opportunities available and opportunities open for an apprenticeship or work in that industry. So my position, I managed to score by starting off as a labourer. So I applied for a labouring position at Big Constructions. I didn't apply for an apprenticeship. That was my intention. I put that forward as well initially. Also, being honest, it's important. But I was originally employed as a labourer, just to keep ticking along. And if you look at some of my past videos, that's what I've explained. It's all part of that. So don't be afraid to be the person who just rocks up on a Saturday morning to sweep floors, or offer your time up after school or anything like that. I know there's a lot of school-based programs now, which are really good. A lot of work experience stuff. I know young Reggie, he's come on with work experience, and now he's actually got an apprenticeship with MB Constructions and stuff. So it's a great thing. It's a great incentive to encourage younger people to sort of come out of school and start getting a trade as well. So, But as an adult, as a grown up and stuff, put it out there. Just let them know, hey, do you need someone to come in and help sweep floors or tidy up or whatever? Like, be open and honest, and they can see what you like and see what your initiative is and that sort of thing. So, yeah. The other good thing about social media too is you can actually register to, you can follow other groups. So I know for carpentry, there's a little organisation called Carpentry Australia, where a lot of carpenters and stuff are registered on there and builders are registered on there. And what's happened is that you find that because there's just such a network of guys that have gone and registered with Carpentry Australia, now they can advertise for them as well. So every now and then on Instagram, I'd see these ads up for qualified people or apprentice or whatever. So if you're looking for a particular industry as such, like, try and give it a crack. Like, have a look at your social medias, have a look at different companies and organizations that may relate to the trade that you want to do. So we spoke about emails and stuff before, but let's change that to be a little bit more realistic. Let's head down the road of face-to-face interaction. So rocking up to an establishment, some places, say for example, hairdresser is a good one. So because most hairdressers are open during a particular time period, and you can actually approach the front counter and make your booking for a haircut or whatever. So there is nothing stopping you if you want to get an apprenticeship as a hairdresser. Walk right up into there, go to the front counter and say, hey, I'd like to drop off my resume. I'm interested in starting an apprenticeship as a hairdresser. Simple as that. Face to face, have your documentation ready, have a resume, have a letter of application, give it to the person at the front counter, and they'll pass it on or whatever, or they say, hey, we're not looking, we'll put it on file. That's the best case scenario. You know, worst case, they tell you to go away. So don't be afraid. If you got the opportunity to go face to face, definitely. Like, I think it's important. Not a lot of interaction with that these days. Everything's all sort of emails and phone calls, and there's not a lot of face-to-face interaction. So I think you can actually stand out a little bit more from the crowd if you actually dress yourself up, look presentable, go in, see a potential employer and say, hey, I'd like to start an apprenticeship here, and give them your details. Right, so the whole thing at the end of the day is you need to find a way to get a foot in the door. You need to find a way to open up a door into a particular business so that you have an opportunity to become an apprentice. Sometimes it may become a dead end. Don't give up on your dream. Keep going. Like, if you really, really want this trade, if you really, really want this apprenticeship, and you do end up having to work somewhere casually and stuff for a little while, so be it. The other key factor I think is important with this whole process of trying to get an apprenticeship is following up on your applications. So following up on the places that you've dropped your resume off to, that you've emailed a resume to. Just touching base, just saying, hey, did you get my resume? Anything there? Any thoughts? Have you got anything to give me any feedback? I think it's important to head down that road because that shows that initiative, that shows that desire and that yearning to have a crack, to give it a go. So don't be afraid to do that. Just quickly go through what we just spoke about. So we spoke about getting your resume ready and your cover letter. Very important. Get that ready to go. Do your research on the trade that you want to do. So find out who, what, where, that sort of deal. So find out the possible companies that you might want to apply for, what direction you like to head in that particular trade. Okay, do that research. Send out your resume. Okay, get your name out there. Let people know that you're looking. Let people know that you're hunting and on the hunt for a new job and stuff. That you want an apprenticeship. That you want to commit. Spread it out. Get it out there. By email. That sort of stuff. Go that way. Try your training organizations. Try your registered training agencies. That sort of stuff. Get in touch with them. Let them know. Look at newspapers. Look on your ads on Seek. Keep track of all that. See how that's traveling. Check out social media. Utilize that as much as you can. Like different companies, different building companies, or trades that relate, or companies that relate to the trade that you want to do. Say if they're hairdressers, you might go through hairdressers locally in say Cairns or something, for example. Go through hairdressers in Cairns. Like all their pages. Start following them, because most people Majority of people these days, if they want staff, they will post on social media. Like they will just swing a quick post up there, especially the small guys, just to see whether they'd get any nibbles or bites. So be mindful of that. Like that sort of stuff will come through. And then the other thing is the follow-up. The other other important thing is to follow up. Follow up on your application, follow up on who you've applied for. Obviously, so be careful. Don't go sending out 50 to 60 odd emails in one night. Stagger it, work out which companies you think you'd work for, do a couple here and there, spread it out a little bit. The process for me to become an apprentice, an adult apprentice, it took about 6 months. So it may take you longer, it may take you less, it might just fall into the lap. You might just apply just at the right time where someone's getting, no, we were looking for an apprentice. Let's have a crack, let's give this guy a go. So it is luck, it is a bit of luck, like right place, right time, that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, it's a numbers game. So the more chances, more information you have out there, the more of your name you have out there, the more chances you have of being at the right place at the right time. Okay, I hope that makes sense. The other thing I wanted to try and do today is something a little bit unique. I don't know whether it's allowed, but I'm going to give it a crack anyway. So if there is any employers out there looking for apprentices in a particular area, shout out to you guys. Thanks for watching. But what I want you to do, if you're looking for an apprentice, in the comment section, all right, this video will probably go on forever or whatever, who knows. In the comment section, jot down the name of your company, okay? Anyone can Google it. I don't want any contact details or anything, so we won't worry about that. So just the name of your company, plug the name of your company, plug the trade that you've got on offer, okay? And the dates that the application's open for. Put those three things in the comment section. And if there's guys watching out there that are looking for an apprenticeship, have a scroll through comments, see if there's anything there that catches your eye, guys. I'm probably not going to get any comments. I don't know. I don't know how it's all going to work. But over time, this may grow. This comment section may grow, and people may start to utilize it. So guys, I hope that I have supplied some assistance to at least somebody out there. That was a fair bit of rambling on. That's me for this week. I'll leave it there. I'll park it up. And we'll have a bit of a chat next week about what I've been up to, what I've been doing. And yeah, we can go from there, eh? Righto, guys. Build on legends. All the best. Go get an apprenticeship if you want it. Get it done. Commit to it. And yeah, take care, eh? Chat soon, guys. See ya.